Should it really be the role of government to require people to purchase a health insurance product they don't want, raise taxes to give that same product to others who can't afford it, and commandeer our state government and its resources to carry it out? Or should we work to limit government and empower the private sector by developing a clearly defined framework for providers in Florida to compete to meet the needs of our citizens and then hold them strictly accountable for their performance? Can it really be the proper role of government to arbitrarily come into a single state and unilaterally tell us that Florida must adhere to arbitrary, unscientific, and unachievable EPA standards? Or should we raise our voices in protest and defend our citizens' property rights and our state's sovereignty against this assault by the federal government? The threats to our liberties come not only from the federal government, but they can also be seen much closer to home. As an attorney and an officer of the court, I believe fervently in a judicial branch that is strong and independent and fully empowered and equipped to fulfill its constitutional duties. But for the judiciary to be independent, it must also be impartial and apolitical. It must respect the co-equal executive and legislative branches, and it must protect their unambiguous constitutional powers, and it must practice the restraint that is built in to our federal and state constitutions. And yet over the past year, 3 times, we saw the work of a 3/5 supermajority of this legislative branch, the elected representatives of over 18 million Floridians, demolished by 5 unelected justices of the Florida Supreme Court. This was done notwithstanding the fact that there is no express authority in the Florida Constitution for their doing so. And so I ask you, is it the role of the judicial branch to decide political questions and to endanger its reputation for impartiality by depriving the voters of the right to vote on important questions put forth by their elected representatives? Or should we make good on the oath we all just took to protect and defend Florida's Constitution, which expressly grants the legislature the unlimited right to place questions before the voters so that they, the people, may exercise their highest political right to choose whether or not to amend their Constitution?